because there's two things that you're doing or have done that I have a high peak of interest in. And that's A, we already talked about the stand up comedian thing. And you've also done voiceover artist work.
Mhm.
Let me just name a few for our listeners that just may think that you're some kind of joke, which I don't. You've done things for Nike, Best Buy, Samsung, Under Armour, freaking McDonald's, Nissan, Buick, GMC. The list goes on and on.
Mhm.
Brother, my cap goes off to you. Unbelievable. So I don't know if you know our guy who does our show, AJ McKay. Have you heard of him?
We're very good friends. He is.
You
I'm actually
are.
him. Oh yeah, I'm going to see him. We're going to the National Voiceover Conference in March.
Can I go?
Sure, absolutely.
My God.
Who's going to voice over for you? Oh, sorry.
Corderis.
What?
What
I
the
can't help
fuck?
myself sometimes.
What the fuck?
Hey, I'm freezing my ass off here in Canada. Let me have my break.
So Johnny, fuck off, Corderis. So
Wow.
he knows I'm kidding. I love my brother in stripes. Johnny, so he told me that there's three levels of doing the voiceover thing,
Hmm.
which there's probably more secrets he didn't tell me, but there's the good, the bad, and the evil.
Hmm.
And he offered his services to me to work with me. He actually said that he thought I had a good voice to do things like
do.
this.
You do 100%. You have a very niche voice to where like you would be perfect for certain. Like if a project is looking for a certain type, you would fit a certain type for sure.
What do you think that type would be? Put me over.
Uh,
Come on.
yeah, gruff, blue collar, uh, authentic, weathered, and this is not a bad thing. This is
Yeah.
like a lot of voiceovers want this. Um, I get a lot of reads where it's like we want someone who's been through a lot, who can tell a story, who's like like a Midwest type stuff. Like you have
Mm-hmm.
that deep, but it's not like a deep Kevin Costner voice. It's like a deep, like you've been through some shit voice.
Have you heard or listened to the Honda commercials with John Cena?
Of course.
That is the shits.
Look, one of my biggest pet peeves is when rich
It
celebrities
is.
become spokespeople for products that they don't need to do. But at the same time, I'm sure they don't think about it. I'm sure they don't realize they're taking work away from voiceover actors. I got lucky. 10 years ago, I had a Best Buy campaign, and I got in the studio, and they said, "Well, we offered this to Anna Kendrick, but she said no." And we had the audition. I was like, "Well, thank you, Anna. I appreciate that."
Do you have any examples? Any examples? Give me an example of maybe McDonald's.
As far as voiceover,
Oh, I want you to do it live there, pal.
oh, okay. Let me think. I could do the
Oh, this is
Best Buy.
so great.
The
Do
Best Buy
whichever one you're comfortable with.
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to remember. The Best Buy campaign was for their version of the Genius Bar. It's called the Samsung Experience Shop,
Okay.
where it was 4 different spots that aired over the course of a year, which is really great. So I basically I was one of those guys that the person acting in the commercial could hear my voice.
Okay.
So it starts off, it's this is Lance. Lance is thinking about switching to Samsung, but he's not ready to admit it. And I said, besides, it's not like he's thinking about it all the time, but he is. And then he looks at the camera and goes, I am. I'm like, of course you are. Go to the Samsung Experience Shop. Simple.
That's awesome, though.
That's cool. That's amazing that you still remember it. You probably have had to do it so many times that you do, but I love the way that you analyzed Brian's voice and kind of figured out where he would fit in. I'm wondering if you could analyze Daniel's in my voice and figure out, is there somewhere where we would fit in, or if there's no hope for either one of us?
Daniel will be underneath the truck doing some oil changes or some shit.
Come on now.
You're from Louisville, Kentucky.
Because I have that Canadian accent, I can't help it.
Actually, I get a lot of voiceover reads where they specifically would like a Kentucky accent, believe it or not.
Stop.
Really?
Or Johnny, stop putting him over. Do not do it.
Well,
It happens.
Someone's got to do it, Bryce. Someone's got to do it.
Okay, put him over.
hey, look, Daniel has put me over backstage to a certain promotion that has almost helped me a few times. So of course I have to put him over.
All right, golly. If he didn't put you over, you buried the motherfucker. So whatever. And what was
Yeah.
Jimmy? What was Jimmy?
Okay, so with Jimmy, now I know Brian, you're gonna laugh at this, but no, Jimmy has the voice like so. If I'm looking at like the description of what Jimmy's voice could be, it's the first word I'm thinking of is wise.
Why
Wow.
are you laughing?
It's not that funny. Do you think it's funny?
Yes.
I think he's spot on.
Really?
Yeah.
So he'd be like the owl for the suckers?
No, not that kind of wise. I'm
Oh,
talking
wow.
about
Wise ass.
a one, a two, a three.
You knew what I was talking about. You knew what I was talking
Actually,
about.
Yeah.
Actually,
How many licks does it take to get the Tootsie Roll syndrome? A Tootsie Pop.
This
Yeah.
is too much.
God.
This show is the best right now.
Oh man.
Oh, fuck. Johnny, can you come over every week?
Look, I'd be happy to come on and do the voiceover minute. How about that?
You know what? I'm going to get Johnny to come call my wife and explain to her what she just explained to me about my voice.
Mhm.
Please tell her.
I think honestly, so the descriptions of Jimmy's voice that I think would be right in his niche for voiceovers would be wise, endearing, authentic, comforting. Because when Jimmy's talking at his natural room tone, room volume, whatever you want to call it, natural volume, it's a very like, like because if you listen to a lot of commercials, it's not a lot of shouting. It's literally like the biggest thing in voiceover is think about what you should do and do less. At least that's been the trend. So when Jimmy is just talking like he is, that's perfect for so many commercials. By the way, there is a dog in this hotel that is losing its mind.
Go bite him.
This
Go
is
bite
alarming.
him.
But yeah, those are the descriptions I would say of Jimmy's voice, like very relaxed and wise, endearing, authentic. That's what I would
I'll
say.
take it.
No,
you.
ironically enough, that was in his wedding vows with his wife.
Mhm. Sure.
So basically, Daniel is wanted by some bunch of hicks. Jimmy is Jesus with his voice, and I'm some rugged, stupid asshole.
Well, I've never seen a voiceover read asking for a stupid asshole, but
Well,
I'm not far.
if you do, you know one now.
If you have an audition for that one, let me know.
I was gonna say something, but I don't want to piss off the Americans when I talk about the past presidential debate that we saw recently.
Okay, well,
I
just
don't know, but
get out.
Never mind. Yeah, get out.
So Johnny, let's get back to business because gosh, you don't put over the boys, you put me over, okay? But anyway,
I said you were blue collar and gruff and authentic. That's what put you over, brother.
okay.
He put you over.
Well, thank you,
I
John.
said your voice is so unique that it would fit into such a distinct genre. Like, I don't know, like for example, Nick Offerman, the guy from Parks and Rec, does a ton of voiceover.
Yeah.
Or like John Krasinski. You always see voiceover reads that say, "We want a John Krasinski." That means they want you to sound just like the guy next door. Like, "Hey, having a rough day? Okay, let's go talk about it." Or like Nick Offerman or like Aubrey Plaza. That means you want to sound like you have no interest in what you're talking about. So it's like, well, here we are. Another day, another dollar. What do we got coming up next? I don't know. I'm going to go to bed. So it's like you would fit into like
That's good.
You know who that you just described Tommy Dreamer to a T.